Hello writer friends, I'm Scott and I'm a writer. Which you're probably thinking, well no shit, because your YouTube channel kind of lets us know that already. But what I'm trying to do here, this is my intro video since I'm new to Authortube, and I want to let you know a little bit about me personally, as well as give you a little bit about where I'm at in my writing journey and what you can expect from this channel. I didn't go to a fancy school. I went to a state college. I went to a good state college, Towson University, go Tigers, and I got a bachelor's degree in electronic media and film. I had a concentration on creative writing, and I pretty much took any class I could, any class they offered on storytelling, the craft of storytelling. And I also have done a significant amount of self-education and expanding my knowledge. But blah, 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 really nobody cares about that. Because I'm not trying to sell you anything, at least not yet, right? So I'm only going to try to talk about the things that I feel that I have some degree of expertise in. So let's kind of back up a little bit. Why am I the overwhelmed author? Technically overwhelmed writer, but I thought overwhelmed author kind of flowed off the tongue a little bit better than overwhelmed writer, but hopefully you get the point. So my particular situation, I have 3 sons, and my oldest is a moody teenager who I can never tell if he's bored or if he hates me. My 11-year-old has severe ADHD, and I mean like doctor-diagnosed ADHD, not for a comedy punchline ADHD, like I can't get anything done because I have ADHD. And my youngest son, my 5-year-old, has special needs, and he does require therapy 5 days a week. We do that in the morning, then he goes to school in the afternoon. That divides, dealing with all that divides up a decent amount of my time and all the things that taking care of those 3 entails. I also have an affection-starved dog, which I don't know why she's affection-starved, because she gets plenty of affection, but man, if anybody shows any kind of affection around the house, she wants in on that action. She's a black lab named Sunny, and she's like the best dog ever. You might disagree if you have a dog, but I'm telling you, she's right up there. She's like your dog, and my dog are probably like right here. So, and I also have a crazy cat named Hurricane, who is crazy and lives up to his name. He likes to pee on things. It's awful. And then I can't forget my saint of a wife, who is, I don't have to deal with her. She has to deal with me, unfortunately. But she's so awesome, and she supports me through all my writerly pursuits and the YouTube thing and all of that. What's my goal here with this channel? I want to help writers with story mechanics, because I feel like that I do have a degree, as I was saying before, a degree of expertise in that, and also in time management, which is something that I've learned over time because of my ADHD that I have. That's why it's one of the things that I sympathize with my son with so much. Focus can be really tough for me, and it's really tough if you want to write and you have ADHD. Kind of sucks. I've come up with a lot of time management techniques through my research and just things that work for me, and hopefully I can pass that along to some of you. Maybe that'll work for those of you that have trouble focusing or have trouble carving out some time, and then when you have that time, actually kind of getting down to business and writing. I also want to share some of my writer's journey through a series of vlogs, because I'm hoping through those we can kind of bond, or I can bond with the community over the common struggles that writers have. Most of us are busy. I would venture to say probably 90% of you watching this are busy. And if you are one of those people that say, oh my God, I'm so bored, I have slept for 3 hours today. Well, I personally hate you, but everybody else I love, okay? Just to be clear on that one. I'm trying to kind of get to that human element of writing, and to let people sort of know that they're not alone. We aren't word factories just churning out the next book. I mean, I don't know, there's some people out there that are, and some people will totally amaze me, and I kind of applaud the fact that they are so laser focused that they can churn out, and I mean, I hate to say, I don't mean to use churn in a derogatory way, but just put out this content and write these, massive amount of words in a single day and a week and a month, and can be done a book like in 2 months. That's crazy. But hey, more power to you. I'm hoping this channel also can be a place for some honest discussion and healthy debate about writing and all the things that writing entails, and what it means to be a writer and what you have to do to get it done. So for me personally, my current writing journey started. I was since I was a little kid. I wrote mainly short stories. Then I moved into screenplays. I did write a play when I was in 4th grade, so I'm going to count that as well. It was called Showdown at Sundown, and it was a Western comedy. It wasn't very good. But anyway, I was always intimidated by the novel, the idea of writing a novel. And then about 2 years ago, I had an idea for a story that I thought might work well as a novel. Last summer, I wrote a very detailed outline, probably about 15 to 17 pages roughly, of a very detailed outline of this story. And then this past fall, I really started writing seriously. I'm currently, if you look back here, I'm currently at 60,000 words, and I'm in the last third of the story. Now, I know some of you are probably looking at, he started writing in the fall and he's only at 60,000 words. Well, hey, that's a big deal for me. This is my first book. I do believe that writing is very much like working out, and the more that you do it and the more of a habit it becomes, the better and faster, more efficient you become at it. So I think routine is such a huge part of that. So a little bit about my current work in progress. It is a post-apocalyptic sci-fi book story set in the near future. But now the twist, which granted, I know this isn't the most unique twist, but I think it's a little bit different, is that only half of the world has been destroyed. So many of these post-apocalyptic books or stories, TV shows, movies, it's like everything's like wiped out and devastated. But the idea here is that the half that's still around, they're trying to live, like they're trying to create some kind of normalcy, and the story deals with how we got to this point, and how we got to this point, and how we're dealing with it in general. It is the first book of a planned trilogy, but I did write the story with the idea that it could be a self-contained story. So it's almost like a standalone, although I do plant seeds for the subsequent books. I didn't want to make this like a story that kind of cuts off in the middle. I hate when I read a book and it's very obvious that the first book was nothing but a setup for the next book or the next few books in a series. That's such a, I don't know, I feel like that's kind of like a rip-off to me. I'm going to give you a complete story, and I hope that I generate enough interest in the things that I bring up that you want to continue on with the trilogy. Each book is going to focus on a particular institution, this is we are U.S. focused in this book because that's where I live. So I decided to set this in the United States, even though there's a virus. So imagine that, a virus in a post-apocalyptic book, probably shocking, right? Now they go together like peanut butter and jelly. But the first book deals with corporate America and how it deals with this idea that half of the country has been turned into this dangerous wasteland. And sort of the overarching theme of the whole series is how we deal with devastation and sort of the lies that we tell ourselves as individuals and as a country as well, to try to make things at least seem normal in our head. And this book has elements of horror, humor, action. It's got zombies, it's got mutants, it's got killer robots. It's all the things that I like to read about, things that I think are cool, because I like those sort of things. And I think that when an author, writer, whatever, enjoys what he's writing and has a genuine interest in it, I think it really comes through in the writing. So as far as traditional versus self-publishing, don't worry, I'm not going to do a video on that, at least not right now at this point, because I don't have enough experience in that. Everything has just been researched online, and I've talked to a few people that I know that have actually been traditionally published. And, there's a lot of videos out there on Authortube, Authortube, that would probably do a lot better job explaining the pros and cons than I would. Right now I'm leaning towards self-publishing because based on my research, no one wants to read your freaking zombie story. It's just the sad truth. Zombies are sort of seem to be a big strike against me if I want to go the traditional publishing route. Feel free to refute that claim in the comments. It wouldn't be the first time I was wrong, but that's sort of what I see. I do know there are smaller publishing companies that do have, that do actually specialize in sort of that post-apocalyptic fiction, and actually would welcome zombie stories. But, smaller publishing companies, you're not making a ton of money, and obviously I'm not doing it just for the money, but if I want to try to make some money, why not try to make the most that I can? Now, it's a gamble here. Smaller publishing companies, I might make a little bit of money, but I'd get a little bit of money, and I'm still going to have to do all the marketing myself. Even if I go with a bigger publishing company, I'd have to do the marketing of myself, all by myself. So if that's the case, then why not just self-publish? I mean, it is a roll of the dice. I, could make more money, or I could, there's the potential to make $0 as well. So at this point, sort of leaning towards self-publishing. There are a few people that I want to talk to that I know, as I said, that have self-published. I do want to go a little more in-depth, have a little more in-depth conversation with them to find out, is this the sort of thing that should I even bother pursuing the traditional publishing route or not? So that's it. That's my story for today. So I want everyone out there to keep writing and keep sharing your stories, and I will see you in the next video.